Hey everybody, this is Henny B. Thank you so much for watching the Henny B Speaks YouTube channel. I am totally excited about today's topic. I thought I was doing an Ask HR moment, but I am feeling led to talk about what we're going to talk about today. And I'm going to get straight into it. So if you have not subscribed, I assure you that you want to, because God has just been downloading so many different topics, and you are not going to want to miss this. It's going to empower not only your life, but I guarantee you your relationships, your career, your business. All right, so subscribe. That's the last time I'm going to say it, because once I start the flowing, I start the flowing. Again, my name is Henny B, and feel free to comment below. So I want to start out sharing with you all something that you should know. That thing that you should know is that I don't care. I really don't care. What don't I care about? I do not care how you got started. See, in my professional career, I'm known as a human resources expert, and I help a lot of people with discover what they need to do in their careers, right? And I do what I call career strategy sessions. And a lot of the time, and I know I've been victim of this as well, not victim, but I've done this as well, is that when we're talking about solutions, when I'm talking about solutions with some of our clients, what happens is that they want to consistently talk about, well, this is where I came from, and, it's this person's fault, and, I messed up in this area, whatever it might be. And I know some people call it excuses, but I just call it part of your story. But the reality is that no one really cares. Can I say that? Now you can use your story as a testimony, and it will be able to impact somebody else's life. But what I'm here to tell you is that I don't care how you got started. You know why? Because it is not how you start. I just need you to finish well. Can somebody hashtag that? Just finish well, right? So for those of you that know that there's a greater calling on your life, you know that there's there's destiny ahead of you. I need you to not focus on all the time on how you got started, especially if it was a rough start. It doesn't matter if your start was rough. What matters is that you finish well. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that. But before I go into sharing, some of my thoughts, I wanted to give you guys some of my story, right? Some of the things that I've said in the past, and sometimes I have to catch myself from saying, because this is, again, part of my story about how I started. So I had a child out of wedlock, and I didn't realize that I came from generations that also had children out of wedlock. Might not be a big deal to some, but for me it was a big deal, because that was never the plan for my life. I never intended to have a child out of wedlock. I'm not one of those people that just say, hey, it just happened. No, it didn't just happen. But I definitely know that, that just was not in my plan. I'll put it that way. If you would have asked me at 17 that would I have a child out of wedlock in my 20s, I would say absolutely not. So I did. And in asking a lot of questions, I found out that I came from generations of children either being born out of wedlock or generations of just divorces. You were with someone, had children, I got tired of you, now I moved on to someone else, right? And so anyway, multiple divorces, okay, within my family. In addition to that, I had really low self-esteem. And now as an adult, I don't know if it was self-esteem. I don't know if I thought it was low self-esteem, but I will tell you that I had low self-worth. and again, that's not something that I realized until later. A lot of it dealt with my skin complexion, not feeling like I was in the in crowd, not realizing that I was just never in the in crowd. I always just kind of, had my own friends, and we were all just really different. But I didn't want to be that different, but I was. I wanted to attend grad school, and I ended up attending grad school, but that was how I started. Whew, I could talk to you all about that for another 10 hours. No, exaggeration, maybe an hour. But it was not easy. Not that the work wasn't easy, but I had a really difficult road. And by the time I went to try to finish grad school, I now had a child. And now I was a single mom trying to go back to grad school. The start was not easy. I became a landlord in my early 20s. I was like, yay. I was part of a really incredible company that provided me extra income. So I was able to purchase a home, and became a landlord at a really young age. And that was interesting, right? Because I was leading with my heart and not necessarily with business practices. I think that's really what got me started, having that business owner hat. But that was interesting. The house just literally went under, and so many lessons learned from that. I would still do it again, though. I wanted to be a millionaire by 30. I am now past 30. I'm not a millionaire yet. I'm on my way. But I'm not, that was my goal. And that was a rough start, just trying to figure out, what am I doing? What do I do? That was just a really difficult place, knowing, for those of you that are watching, if you have an entrepreneur heart and you are working 9 to 5 and you have all of these other things things in life that's being thrown at you, and you're like, man, how do I get the time to do it? You know what I'm talking about. But the reality is that the list goes on. And your story might be similar, or it might be is that you had a rough start because you had a divorce, or that you had a rough start because you were a single parent trying to juggle the demands of life, or your job won't let you advance, or they won't promote you, so you can't get a higher salary to do more that you want to do in life, right? You might have elderly parents that you can't care for. Whatever it is, your credit might be jacked up. Or is it that you're just plain old stuck? So I'm sharing all of that because it does not matter. It doesn't matter. I promise you, it doesn't matter. Come on, you all know, if you're watching this video on YouTube, on social media, you have seen enough videos of the comeback kids. You know what I'm talking about the people that have stories that are like, oh my gosh, if they can make it, I know I can make it. But for some reason, we believe more in other people's stories than we believe in the potential in our own selves. If that person can do it, I promise you that God is he doesn't look at one person more favorably over another. Like literally, if he has given you life, he has given you capacity. That means that you have the capacity to fulfill God's will for your life. All right, I'm starting to get excited. I done dropped the water bottle. I have great news for you. Again, you already know. I just shared that with you. You already know the great news. Because not only do I not care about how you got started, and you all know, if you know me in person, you know I really do care. I'm just sharing that to get the message across. Because I really do care. I mean, I'm just that type of person. I probably should have been a social worker. But it's not how you start. It's about how you finish. And if life has already thrown you bad apples, you might as well start demanding life to throw you the rest of the ingredients so you can make an apple pie. I mean, it's no point saying, life done thrown me this bad apple and I wanted oranges. If life threw you apples, figure out what to do. Turn that into something else. Okay, it threw me apples. I'm about to make an apple pie. You guys get the analogy, right? All right, my credit is jacked up. Let me figure out what is who I can go out to, who I can seek after. And I don't want to hear any excuse about not having money, because let me tell you, when something really, if it's a priority, you will find the money for it. But if you truly are in that position where you can't, where you don't have the money for professional services, listen, one of the best things ever is what you're watching right now, which is YouTube University. I remember when, even now, you know, sometimes my husband and I, we missed a marriage conference. The marriage conference was like thousands of dollars. And we're like, hey, you know what? Let's see what information we can find online. And I'm telling you, there's so much free information that you could take part of. So even if your credit is jacked up, I guarantee you, you can go on YouTube University and try to figure out, hey, credit jacked up, can you help? You're going to get all types of tips from professionals, okay? Today is the first day of the rest of your life. Let's repeat that slowly. Today, I'll say it with you. Today is the first day. Think about that. Today is the first day of the rest of my life. Wow. Meaning, today's a clean slate. You can start over, I promise. People are out there wanting you to win, I promise. People are waiting for you to hold on to what God has called you to do, I promise. That is the will of our Father, for you to live in abundance, I promise. And abundance is not just about money, but abundance is the complete fulfillment of what you've been called to do. You know what I mean? You see all of these people that have all of the money in the world, but they're not fulfilling their purpose. Or you see a lot of wealthy people trying to do acts of service, acts of humanity, you know, and the reason why is because they're trying to fill a void. They're trying to fill, because they're like, man, all this is nice, but this is not what I've been called to do. There's something else. There's something else. And I am encouraging you today to no longer hold on to what that person did to you, to what your job is withholding, whatever the situation is that's trying to hold you bound, literally hostage and chained. Think about it. When you are held hostage, I want you to literally think the next thought that enters your mind, even our thoughts can hold us hostage. I want you to literally do like this. Okay, when you do like this, how freely can you move if your hands are like this? You can't go and receive. You can't go and give. You can't do anything because you're held in hostage. You're held in bondage by the things that have occurred in your past that have nothing to do with your future. Has nothing to do with your future. All of what you did has brought you, and what you've encountered has brought you to this very moment, which is the first day of the rest of your life. And this is now going to equip you to launch you into your destiny. It is not going to hold you hostage, but it is going to set you free. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to write down everything that you think is holding you back. Everything that you think is holding you back. Literally, I don't care how long it takes. I'm not with you. I'm not here to judge you. Everything that you think is holding you back. Now, next to it, I'm going to give you a code. You're either going to write the letter M or the letter G, okay? M is for my control, meaning you have control over it. Me, right? We have to now take responsibility, take accountability. All right, this person did this to me. Now, what am I going to do about it? Then the letter G is God's control. What are those things that we are holding on to that we no longer have control over, that we can't do anything about? So you're going to write down a list of everything that's been holding you back, everything that's been part of your story up until this point, everything that you think is a reason why you can't get ahead. And I want you to either write the letter M next to it or the letter G. M means that it's in your control. You are going to take ownership. Me, my, right? So I looked at the fact that I wanted to be a millionaire by 30. Literally, I just got this revelation the other day that I could have done that. And one of the reasons why I did not do that is because I was afraid of success. lost. I was afraid of all of the things that I would lose, all of the sacrifices. And more importantly, I was nervous about the level of accountability that would be applied to me and scrutiny that would be applied to me by becoming in the limelight of other millionaires because of the nature and the scope of where God was calling me, is calling me to be. So that's me. There's some things that I know that I need to do, right? So you're going to write down a list of everything, and then you're going to write down a letter M or letter G, okay? The things that are in your control, I encourage you to seek out help. Again, see if you have problems with your finances, your credit, see if you can get help with that. Who do you know in your circle that you can work out a payment arrangement? Or sometimes you just need to go out on faith and just go ahead and put down that whole. I mean, I just made a big faith move a few weeks ago. I'm telling you, I've never paid that type of money. Do you see that? I've never paid that type of money in my life for that type of service. And I just had to do, I'm like, I don't even need to do installments. I just need to go ahead and just do this thing, close my eyes, and not hold my breath. And just believe that God is going to do what he said he was going to do. But I have to also make sure that I do what I said I was going to do. See, sometimes God can't move the way he wants to move because we are the ones that's like, but God, remember what happened to me? And he's like, can you free yourself, please? Can you free yourself? So again, my tip is find some daggone help. Prioritize it. Pay for it. But if you truly cannot pay for it, especially right now, go to YouTube University. Hello. I'm telling you, anything you need is on YouTube University, or it's online. You can find an article. You can go to the library. There are books about it. But guess what? That's only if you truly want it. If you truly want it, you're going to go get it. Believe that. And I noticed the difference in me. When I said I was going to go get it, oh, I got it because I made up my mind. So I'm encouraging you all today to make up your mind. Make up your mind to say, today is the first day of the rest of my life, and I am no longer going to be held hostage by the things that I've been through, but I'm going to allow what I've been through to allow me to finish well, okay? It is not how you start. It is how you finish, and you must finish well. Your life deserves it. All right, everybody. I hope this message encouraged you all. I know I encouraged myself as usual. Please subscribe to the Henny B Speaks YouTube channel. I'm also on Facebook at Henny B Speaks. And you can find my books, Command Your Morning with Declarations Around the Clock, and Freedom from Anxiety, One Woman's Secret Journey, on CreateSpace and Amazon. Thank you so much for watching. Leave your comments below. And if you want to hear me talk about any other topics, you could do that as well. All right, everybody. Don't forget to command your day. Bye-bye.